Hello，各位同学，大家好，我是 Sunny。那今天我们要带大家念一下这个高级阅读第16课哦，关于这个大麻禁令的这个 Hemp Revival 的文章。The Hemp Revival. For the first 162 years of America's existence, marijuana was totally legal and hemp was a common crop. But during the 1930s, the US government and the media began spreading outrageous lies about marijuana, which led to its prohibition. Some headlines made about marijuana in the 1930s were Marijuana, the assassin of youth. Marijuana, the devil's weed with roots in hell. Marijuana makes fiends of boys in 30 days. If the hideous monster Frankenstein came face to face with the monster marijuana, he would drop dead of fright. In 1936, the liquor industry funded the infamous movie titled Reefer Madness. This movie depicts a man going insane from smoking marijuana and then killing his entire family with an axe. This campaign of lies, as well as other evidence, have led many to believe there may have been a hidden agenda behind marijuana prohibition. Shortly before marijuana was banned by Marijuana Tax Act of 1937, new technologies were developed that made hemp a potential competitor with the newly founded synthetic fiber and plastic industries. Hemp's potential for producing paper also posed a threat to the timber industry. See new billion-dollar crop. Evidence suggests that commercial interests having much to lose from hemp competition helped propagate reefer madness hysteria and used their influence to lobby for marijuana prohibition. It's not known for certain if special interests conspired to destroy the hemp industry via marijuana prohibition, but enough evidence exists to raise the possibility. After alcohol prohibition ended in 1933, funding of the Federal Bureau of Narcotics was reduced. The FBI's own director, Harry J. Anslinger, then became the leading advocate of marijuana prohibition. In 1937, he testified before Congress in favor of marijuana prohibition by saying, "Marijuana is the most violence-causing drug in history. Most marijuana smokers are Negroes, Hispanics, Filipinos, and entertainers. Their satanic music, jazz, and swings result from marijuana usage. This marijuana causes white women to seek sexual relationship with Negroes." Marijuana prohibition is founded on lies and rooted in racism, prejudice, and ignorance. Just as politicians believe Harry J. Anslinger to be a marijuana expert in 1937, so do many people still believe law enforcement officials are marijuana experts. In reality, law enforcement officials have no expert knowledge of marijuana's medical or health effects, but they do represent an industry that receives billions of tax dollars to enforce marijuana prohibition. In the 1930s, Americans knew that hemp was a common, useful, and harmless crop. It's extremely unlikely anyone would have believed that hemp was dangerous. Thus, the word marijuana was substituted for the word hemp in order to frighten the public into supporting hemp prohibition. Very few people realize that marijuana and hemp came from the same plant species. Thus, virtually nobody knew that marijuana prohibition would destroy the hemp industry. Bolstering the theory that marijuana was banned to destroy the hemp industry, 2 articles were written on the eve of marijuana prohibition that claimed hemp was on the verge of becoming a supercrop. These articles appear in 2 well-respected magazines that are still published today. These articles praise the usefulness and potential of hemp by stating, "Hemp can be used to produce more than 25,000 products, and hemp will prove for both farmers and the public the most profitable and desirable crop that can ever be grown." Marijuana prohibition took effect within 1 year after both these articles were written. The Nixon administration then doubled down on marijuana prohibition because its users were also his political enemies, blacks, and hippies. So he took the chance to persecute them using marijuana as an excuse, and therefore eroding their political power. Jailed people can't vote, and in some states, released felons still can't vote. 好，那这个是在我们上次做16课的这个阅读课里头的内容。那希望大家回去有空再多复习一遍。那我们今天带的这个阅读先念到这里。